Greetings once again, fellow book lovers. It's time for another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online, where I present to you a very highly recommended book. And today's book is more than highly recommended. It is a classic. It is called Tell Me a Story Where the Bad Girl Wins: The Life and Art of Barbara Shermund by Caitlin McGurk. It is published by Fantagraphics Books. It retails for $45 in the United States and $59.99 in Canada. It has 272 pages. This book is really a classic. If likely most of you are not familiar with Barbara Shermund, but if you read The New Yorker, if you're around in 1926, I doubt you'd still be alive to see this, but she was one of the first female cartoonists of note to make her mark in the world of cartooning. And The New Yorker, when it was beginning in the 1920s, it was looking for cartoonists. And she sent her work in, and it was like love at first sight. During her time that she sent material to The New Yorker, she drew 9 covers, and she had over 600 cartoons in the various issues while she contributed to the magazine. Now, she basically said that she liked to draw at 8 years old. Even as soon as she could hold a pencil in her hand, she started to draw. And one of her first illustrations was at 8 years old in the San Francisco Chronicle. So she's definitely was very talented. Also, over the years, when Esquire magazine was starting in the 1930s, she contributed a lot of cartoons and covers to Esquire magazine. She's also had her work in Life magazine, Collier's, Judge, and she had a syndicated column through the King Features syndicate newspapers. It was called Sherman's Sallies. Now, when people saw the illustration signed Shermund, they thought it was a man who did the drawing. Well, it certainly was not a man, but the illustrator, Barbara Shermund, was sort of a woman of mystery. She was married a couple of times. Not a lot was known about her. Some of her illustrations, people said they had there were effeminate men, and they thought maybe at the time she was queer. And there were rumors. There was no substantiating that, but people questioned. But still, she was a woman who really had great talent. She also drew artwork for Pepsi advertisements, Frigidaire advertisements. She did posters as well during the Second World War, and her talent really was amazing. Throughout the pages of this book, and obviously I can't show you all the cartoons, but she was very, very talented, and she was respected through the cartooning world. And she died in 1978. She was cremated, but the ironic part of all this was the fact that her ashes were never claimed. It wasn't until 2019 when her niece showed up. She went to the funeral home, and the ashes were still stored in the funeral home. Well, finally, she was buried. In fact, she was buried in a cemetery in Colma, California, beside her mother. In 2019. So she was, she loved her mother. Actually, she lost her mother at a very young age. Her mother was 39 when she died. It was during the Spanish influenza that she died. And Barbara was only 19 at the time when her mother died. And it took a while to recover from that because the two were very close. So now they're together forever. But if you're looking for an amazing coffee table book, if you love cartooning, if you love The New Yorker, this is definitely a book you have to add to your library because it's an amazing title. Tell me a story where the bad girl wins. That in itself is worth buying. So go out and look for this book. If you do purchase it, please let me know if you do agree with my review, which I'm sure you will because, like I said, this book is a classic. So thank you for watching. I'll be back very soon with another excellent book. Until then, stay safe, stay sane, stay in touch, and I will see you at the bookstore. Bye for now.